What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Reality Pill. Today, we are going to react to another Kevin Samuels video. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys like and subscribe.
Ask Jennifer to unmute herself.
What's so bad about finishing single and with no kids? Because with those around me, I see that women do get married. Um, Half of my family side is Hispanic, so we tend to live for the man. However, once they start approaching 50, they end up getting divorced and they have several kids, and their
So
kids end up
what's the
moving away.
disagreement? What's the disagreement?
So my disagreement is what's the issue with finishing ending up old and single and
Oh,
without
okay.
kids?
Wait, what? Are we? What's the problem? What's the uproar? What's this whole thing about being single and alone? What's wrong with that? Huh? Because because clearly life isn't about people and relationships and love and caring. No, it's not about any of that.
Old single without kids?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's see. Um well, who's going to come take care of you when you're sick? I mean, first off, are you what do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm a teacher.
All right. So, at the local level, high school level, college level.
High school.
So you're not rich. You're middle class. Um
Yeah.
You're middle class. It's no offense, man. You're a normal, average, everyday person.
But
Um, this country is not set up for single, unmarried women with no children for end of life care. No society is set up for that. And women are an exceptional burden on the taxpayers. Who is going to come take care? You have medical issues. Something happens. Who is going to take care of you? Who's going to come take care of you? Who's going to come provide for you? You get injured or hurt. You break an ankle. Who's going to come do something for you? Because you got to pay for that. And you're not
but
rich.
who's to say if I do
Ma'am,
have
I asked,
kids that my
but
kids
no. But see, I asked you who's going to take care of it, and now you want to go back and play devil's advocate. Answer my question first.
my sister.
Your sister. So, how old is your sister has no children,
No.
and she wants to be your partner through the rest of life?
We talked about it, yes.
Okay, my aunts were the same way. But the thing is, I saw this. I'm gonna tell you how it ends. It doesn't end well typically. Two upset, two people who grow old together, who are siblings, tend to have lots of regret. So to ask what's wrong with it, it's a choice, but I'm just saying, make sure you're happy with the choice. Because the holidays, Christmas is here in a few days. You have no one to celebrate it with, except who?
My siblings and my mother.
Right.
But
And your mother passes. Your sibling, your sister. Do you have? But do any of your siblings have children? I mean, families.
no.
Okay. Well, if that's what makes you happy, ma'am.
But
But here's the ultimate thing. Also, men, society is all right with men living in their 40s, 50s, 60s, falling and breaking the hip. There's not a lot of resources for us. It's dangerous. It's more dangerous for women to be. It's for women are far more vulnerable. How about that? You're far more vulnerable to society. Um, and if your sister decided to change her mind and decide to go marry, partner with somebody, what else? What are your options at that point? And you're like 60,
divorced.
huh?
Yeah, she got divorced. She's younger than me, and she got divorced within 3 years.
Okay.
So there's that. But you don't think that sometimes being alone is better than being bickering? I have a neighbor, she bickers all the time with her
Well, see,
husband.
but that's a false choice. I'm not going to accept that. You asked me if being alone is better than living like this. Then I can only answer one way. How about being like my mother, who actually has somebody there? So where she's sick or ill, go to the doctor. My mother's living better than she ever has, and she got married after 50.
Wait, but you know what? I think Kevin should have, played that game with her. He should have took her down that path. Because in what world are we living in which we believe people aren't annoying, in which we believe people don't have their little icks and ticks about them? No one's perfect. You're talking about bickering. That's two people still trying to make it work regardless. That's two people that has each other's back. That's two different people that love each other, care for each other, can potentially build a family, can potentially pass on something of significance to the next generation. While an old and lonely person have sat there and hasn't figured it out. Listen, look, if you want to go with this whole lone wolf thing, leave that for the men. And even then, our little lone wolf phase, we get out of it and start building a family and a community. Because we understand that's of utmost importance. We understand the value in community, the value in people. No one does it themselves. Everything you're doing right now, you're relying on someone else. So you're talking about being alone. Yeah, sure, you're alone, but you're not doing everything yourself. You still have to go to a grocery market where someone picked out everything, cleaned everything, and packaged everything for you to just pick up and buy. But if we were to take it back and go years and years and years and years back, you will see that everything was based on community. Someone had to wash it. Someone had to pick it. Someone had to put it in the community so everyone can eat. We only can play this little lone wolf thing because the world is set up for you to be stable enough to, if you work a job and you have a place to stay, you can buy things that have been packaged and have been done for you for years now. Life is about people regardless.
See, I don't accept the false choices. It's like, well, I would rather be single than that. Is that the only way it can go? How about this? What's the longest? Have you ever had a healthy relationship with a man?
I had a 6-year relationship, but it was unrequited.
I said healthy,
No,
and that's so. What's the problem with having a healthy relationship with a man?
I guess I was turned off from that relationship, and therefore I
Okay,
just
so
don't
we're
want
okay. That
anything
one
with anybody.
relationship is the sum total of every other relationship. Now, does that make? And how old are you?
26.
Okay, 26 years old. You had a 6-year relationship that was unrequited. Were you in the
Yeah.
same? Were you in the same state, same city?
Yes.
So
He
you're
was
going.
my boss.
So at 26 years old, you're going to give up on the rest of life because one relationship didn't work out. Ben Franklin. Some men die at 25 and aren't buried until 75. Life is a long time to be given up on so soon, young lady. This is why I say therapy is needed. What you're saying makes no sense. You're already preparing to die before you've even started to live. 26. And you're
This guy's the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT. That was so true. A lot of people die very early before they've even got to live. Shout out to Kevin, man.
already planning to die.
But I'm just so free alone.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
that's
free.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you can be free, man. But see, at 26, this is why insurance rates are so low when you're 26 because you really don't see end of life coming. But when you're double your age and you feel those years and you're not so and you're see, do what you want, man. Just understand
Okay.
there's a cost to everything. But it sounds as though fear is driving you more than anything else, not optimism. You're a teacher and you had a bad
Yes.
relationship. So, due respect, let's not make this, you know, women's liberation and you're just the wind beneath your wings and you're out here soaring like an eagle. I don't accept what you just told me. That's not what's going on. But I get it. It's just not healthy.
Mm.
That's my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. I would suggest therapy and trying to live a full life because life is about people. And you and your sister, you muted yourself. Life is about people. We need people. And women, you're the more social of us. We need people around us. And at 26, it's just not even normal to start shutting down at this young of an age. So I would say go talk to somebody and see if you can. And if this is ultimately your choice, then live it. But just make it a choice, not just, you know, something that you just ended up backing yourself into because you were too afraid or too scared or too fearful of being hurt, rejected, or to take a risk for anything else. That's the regret a lot of older people tend to have at the end of life. When people are in their 80s, 90s, or 70s, 80s, and 90s, you don't tend to hear them. Go sit with older, elderly people at an old folks' home. And what
Oh,
you're not going to hear them
I
talk
do.
about is they're not going to talk about money so much.
Oh,
They're going to
I
often
do.
talk about regret.
I do. And that's what I guess that's where it's coming from because I see them, they made the investment when they were young. And at the end, it didn't pan out. They ended
Ma'am,
up
you're
alone
26 years
anyways.
old. Okay. And if you're telling me what you've seen, well, I'm telling you, expand your. Okay. You sound like you've lived a very small life. And you can have confirmation bias about the examples you've seen, but you're 26. Due respect, you haven't lived enough. I'm 51. I'm twice your age, and I'm telling you,
I guess it
therapy would
turned
be good.
me off enough that I became
Okay.
asexual.
Okay. Well, I've given you the best I can give you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You know, I've reacted to plenty of videos, right? Like Kevin Samuels. And when I say hands down, and I'm not even joking, I'm not exaggerating this, nothing. This is simply the truth. This was probably the best episode I've seen from him. If you don't believe me, just go back and rewatch it. That whole that whole thesis about people dying before they truly get to live, about even seeing older people and seeing their regrets is typically things that they regret that they didn't get to do when they were younger. This is a very powerful episode. I need everyone to share this video. Let's get this video out there. I think someone will be able to benefit from this a lot. If you were just watching passively, I would advise you to rewatch this episode. I would strongly advise you to rewatch this episode. If I jumped in a little too much, I just wanted to give my comments for the time being. But if I jumped in a little too much, you know, just eat the meat, spit out the bones. Just watch the most important parts, of course, from The Godfather and get the message. Because this was a great one. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions. Make sure you guys turn on post notifications so you will be alerted when we upload more videos just like this one. It's funny enough, that type of message would land on a Sunday. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.